So in the next 10 minutes, I quickly just want to go over something pretty cool that I've been working on with my clients. And I've been developing the system for over like 2 years now, 2.5. And it's something that's been able to tack on extra revenue on top of whatever these clients are doing. So it doesn't matter whether, they're running ads, doesn't matter if they're running webinars, doesn't matter if they're all organic. No matter what they're doing, we'll come in and then install the system, and then it ends up basically throwing fuel on the fire. So just to show you how everything has been working so far. So we've worked with people like Bastion's Law, Brian Page, other 7-8-figure brands that are cleaning up in this space. For example, with Bastion, what we did is we actually averaged an extra $67,000 a month and booked over 1,500 calls total. This number is actually probably close to like 3 times the amount, because we booked 1,500 calls in a single month. So I should probably change this to 3,000 calls. And then you can see here in terms of the results. So between a year, 815K, multiple PIFs, 4 PIFs in a day, 10K PIF here. And then you can see here what I was mentioning is January calls booked, 1,500 calls and $115,000 in a single month. So this is the stuff that's been working really well. And then with Brian, for them, it's worked even better, where they were able to collect an extra $161,000 a month, over 2,000 calls booked so far, because we're still running with the system. And then you can see here, as soon as we started to install it, 5 calls booked right away, 47 calls. They started getting, again, multiple PIFs in a day. Their DM setters were getting overwhelmed with the conversations that we're generating. And then these are just some of the numbers that we are experiencing. So this was in Q3. So it's a slow quarter because of the summer, but we were still able to average anywhere between $100,000 to $150,000 a month with them. So things have been good. And then over the last sort of, I say like 13 months, we were able to basically cross $1 million and then generate another $1.1 million. So $2.1 million in a year. And then there's another client of ours, Felix. He's a stocks trading coach, and he was able to average an extra $85,000 a month over the course of 2 years and booked over 3,000 calls as well. And you can see here, we started fairly slow at around 40K, and then really it started to compound. 60K, started booking multiple calls, 25 calls in a day, 100 calls in a month, and then 40 calls in a single day, 70K in 48 hours, 173K in a month. So the numbers just kept growing, and you can see the numbers stayed high pretty much throughout the entire year this year. So one thing I want to preface, though, is most people are stuck in doing the old way of trying to scale their businesses. They're grinding the entire time. They're just looking for more units to sell every single month, and then it's just burning them out. It's just not a fun way of running business. At the end of the day, you're building a business to provide for yourself, for your family, not for it to just kind of burn to the ground, for you to hard pitch everyone and then work with clients that you absolutely hate. So what we do is this. So this is sort of the expectation that most people go into when they start their businesses. You got a cold lead, they go through ads and funnels, then they become a warm lead, and eventually you book them on a call and you close. Or if you've heard this whole concept of 7 hours of content, which is kind of outdated now, there's no way your clients are going to be watching 7 hours of content and be sold on you, because the market is way too sophisticated, way too jaded. And this is exactly what we fix, because we are able to expedite this process even faster. But they're able to move through this process much faster. So this is the expectation, but the reality is this is what it actually looks like. Is a cold lead comes in, they hit your ads, they hit your funnel, but then they start going around all these different areas where they go on your social media. They might join your email list. They might watch your YouTube or podcast. They might talk to friends and family. They might go talk to other clients inside of your offer. Whatever it is, it takes them anywhere between 7 hours to 18 months to convert and to go back and forth throughout this entire process. So how do we actually expedite this process? How do we actually move clients, move the right leads from the front to the back, get them turning into clients consistently, predictably, every single month, every single week, every single day, without losing out on quality, without having to collect tiny down payments or deposits in hopes that they turn into clients, or just simply without burning yourself out trying to sell more units than the last? Because at the end of the day, again, you want your business feeding you and your family, not the other way around. You want to create a system that drives the right people in every single day and converts them into clients every single day, and then create some kind of system inside your business that creates recurring revenue. And this is exactly what I'm about to walk you through. So this is how we do it. I call this the newsletter funnel. And it is not just email marketing. Don't get that misconception in your mind. This is an entire system. Like I said, it creates a sticky ecosystem inside of your business where clients have no option but to want to work with you because they spend so much time, they get indoctrinated inside of your brand, they get bought into you, which means when they're bought into you, they buy anything else that you create. It does not matter. So that is our goal. How do we get people coming in, getting stuck in your ecosystem rather than shopping around with all your different competitors, shopping on the cheapest price or shopping on whoever can provide the craziest guarantee? Instead, you get quality people that are actually looking for a transformation, are actually willing to do the work, and that don't just rely on you to handhold them, but take responsibility for their results. And how can you lead them through the way and create the clients out of those leads that then you love working with, that you actually get excited to hop on a call with and sit down and work with them and solve their problems because you know that they're going to create results because they take responsibility for their actions. So this is how we do it, is what we've been doing with clients is that we make sure that they create the affinity ads. So ads that actually build trust, that actually play in the modern day of sort of business and marketing, because most ads out there, again, if you know, are making these crazy claims, making these crazy guarantees, and it's just kind of icky. It's kind of gross, and you don't feel comfortable doing that. Not to mention, the FTC is a thing. So if they see that and they crack down on you, then you're kind of screwed, because chances are most marketers, most business owners can't actually substantiate those claims. So instead, you create affinity ads that actually get people trusting you right off the bat. Then we also create dog whistle content that speaks to the right person. It doesn't just speak to everybody. Again, if you're speaking to everybody, you're speaking to nobody. Or worse, if you're speaking to everybody, you're probably tailoring your content, your messaging to the people that cannot afford what you do. Because most business owners, again, most coaches are stuck in trying to sell more units this month than they did last month, which means that they're willing to take anybody through the process just to hit KPIs. That is not the goal. The goal is to get quality people coming on the front end, retaining them long-term, and creating long-term clients out of that. So dog whistle content is what does that. And then you create an MRR offer. So monthly recurring revenue, it's what everybody wants, but everybody kind of does it the wrong way, where they create this like 90-day high ticket up program and then tack on a recurring backend onto that. Problem is, nobody's able to retain their clients after those 90 days. And the clients don't actually get any value by paying that recurring fee. So nobody actually takes you up on that. So you have to adjust and tweak your offer to make it fit this exact system, which is again what we do with clients. After that, this is how you generate qualified traffic. So this is sort of your top of funnel. Then you want to create actual marketing qualified leads that pre-sell them, or give them assets that pre-sells them along the way. The way you do this is demonstration asset. And this is what I mean, that this system, this newsletter funnel works for literally anybody, no matter what strategy you use, whether it's like low ticket communities, whether it's a VSL or a webinar or whatever, what have you. Like there's a million and one ways to do it, but this is a bolt-on system that just works for any sort of coaching business with any strategy, because this is where most of the juice is creating marketing qualified leads. Because yes, we'll help you with the acquisition, but most people actually struggle with creating marketing qualified leads because they try to push top of funnel leads that are completely cold, all the way to the call, which is the bottom funnel. That is not how you do it. Again, leads are way too sophisticated. This is how you bring yourself out. This is how you actually crumble the business. Instead, you want to create a moat where there's so many people that are in here that whenever you do create a proposition for them to work with you, you get your calendars booked out every single time. So demonstration asset, again, webinar, book, VSL, does not matter. Then you tack on an email system, again, that now works in the behind the scenes, that nurtures and indoctrinates your leads in the behind the scenes every single day, and then pre-sells them every single day. Then you combine that with something like a YouTube or a podcast. It's long form content. So like I said, it takes anywhere between 7 hours to 18 months to convert a lead. But this is how you actually condense the amount of time that it takes for them to trust you. Because again, as soon as they trust you, as soon as they are bought into you, then that means that they're going to buy whatever that you provide. It does not matter what your competitors say. It does not matter what crazy guarantees they have, how cheap they are, or what offer that they're providing. They're going to be bought into you as a human being. And then this is how you convert them into clients that you actually enjoy working with. Then from here, it becomes so much easier to push them to a conversation where, whether it's a DM close, call close, Google Doc close, again, does not matter, because this process is what makes the entire system work. It's what makes front-end people, your initial leads, warm up to you and become receptive to any way that you want to run your business, any way you want to close these leads. So again, call, DM, Google Doc, does not matter. Then you push them towards, again, some kind of asset to show their commitment, get those micro commitments going. And then if they don't close, then whatever, they're a hot lead, that's fine. They go back and they go through those assets until they're ready. This is where a lot of business owners go wrong, is if they're not closed, they completely forget about them. Their CRM gets too muddled with leads and they forget to follow up, and they have no way of actually adding value throughout this time frame. So this is why most businesses are actually burning out and struggling with ads. They're struggling to scale consistently, is because they're just bringing like 3% of people on the front end and struggling to close those while ignoring the 97% of people that are still seeing their content, that are still seeing their offers. So this is how, again, you create consistency and predictability, is you take 100% of the people, yes, convert 3% of them right away, but then you hold on to the 97% because that's where most of your money is going to get made. And then if they're closed, then beautiful. They become a high ticket client. And again, if you position your offer the right way, like I said in the beginning, that's where you'll start to actually create guaranteed monthly recurring revenue every single month, so that now you're not walking into the month at 0, you're walking into the month at 5K, 10K, 15K recurring, which means that number in itself pays for your team. It pays for the infrastructure. It pays for the software that you're paying for, instead of, again, starting at 0 and then stressing out, being like, oh my God, I have all these bills to pay, or without having to have this crazy like 3 to 6 month runway, which you want anyways, but the recurring revenue is what builds that runway, but it also is what builds that peace of mind without having to hustle and grind your way to the top again every single month. And then afterwards, that high ticket client can turn into a referral, like they're going to be able to pass more referrals onto your business, which those referrals just jump right to the conversation, to the call. And again, you can push them to these assets as well, but typically they're warm enough, because if one person has built such deep trust with you and they're bought into you, they do all the selling for you. And there's no better way for someone to actually get sold than to hear it from their friend specifically. It's people resist what they're told, but they never doubt what they conclude. If someone comes to you, a stranger, and they try to sell you something, you're instantly turned off. But if a friend comes to you trying to sell you something or present an opportunity to you, you're a lot more receptive to it. That's what happens here. And then that same high ticket client that you just closed becomes a case study as well, because again, remember, we brought the right people in the front end here, people that take responsibility, people that actually take action. And then you bring them through the process, you create real clients that generate real results. And now you can use those case studies to build affinity ads right away, which again, builds trust right away. So that is how you create predictable revenue. And this is the entire system. And like I said, right here, from here to here, this could be automated, pretty much like set in place. It might take, a couple hours in a day or 1 day a week to get this all up and running. And then for the next 6 days, you're just watching leads come into your calendars, come into your Google Docs, come into your DMs, whatever it is. And then those clients or those leads turn into clients. So again, this is how we've been able to create or generate over $10 million in client results over the last 2 years by installing and consulting them through this exact same system. So if you want to see how we're able to help you set up that same system, then just reach out to me. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, just DM me, and then I will get in touch with you. Otherwise, there's going to be a guide in the description where I'll show you how to actually extract an extra 20K, 50K per month out of your business. You're probably sitting on that cash right now and you're not even aware of it, or you're not aware of how to tap into it. So it's a guide. There's real implementation steps in there. I'll show you how to do it. Go get it, get some results, and then you'll see that part of the system works. Remember, that is just one tiny piece of the puzzle. This is the entire newsletter funnel, and this is why it works. So if you want to create consistency, predictability, stability in your business, and you want to survive long term, because what's the point of building a business if your kids don't even get a chance to enjoy the fruits of it? Then you're going to want to do this right now. So go get that guide. Hopefully this helped, and I'll see you in the next one.